Well, hey everybody. I figured it was about time I did another one of these discussion update videos, whatever you want to call them. As usual, I don't have any script in mind for this. I just pretty much start them with a basic idea in mind and decide to speak for whatever is on my mind at the moment. So this is no exception. Now, regarding things going on at the moment, I mean, they're still pretty mixed for that matter. As far as my health goes, yeah, I mean, I've always had like a ton of health issues. And that hasn't really changed that much. I'm still pretty tired. I'm still very thirsty, and obviously things going on in the background family-wise are not going well either. But eh, I'm trying to hang in there. It's pretty much what's going on right now. But what I really wanted to discuss is I've been feeling very conflicted, and what I'm conflicted about is just the way I'm doing things regarding my mood and stuff. So let me bring up the channel here real quick. So yeah, at the moment I am doing two series right now: Dead Space Remake and Rayman Legends. Now, Rayman Legends, I have never played any of the Rayman games. I only picked this one up in particular because it was part of my PS Plus, whatever. Um, like the tier I have, it was for free. And the person who requested it pretty much said, "Oh yeah, just play any Rayman game. I'm fine with that." And lo and behold, like I knew what it was, right? I knew that it was a side-scrolling platformer and that the gameplay was very basic. I played side-scrolling platformers before in the past, like most notably the Donkey Kong Country games back on SNES. However, I've noticed this a lot more now that whenever I'm doing something, I just seem to get very upset. I mean, like irritated over a lot of things. Which, again, I know some of you have commented that you find it humorous when I do that, but overall, I don't like acting like I'm upset, you know? Because when I'm actually playing the game and getting stuck on something, I am legit being upset in that moment. It's not an act or anything. So the fact I've noticed a lot more and more and more is that I'm just playing games. I'm not good at the games, obviously, depending on the situation. I mean, I will never be a professional esports player. Let's just put that out there. Multiplayer or single player, I'm just not an expert when it comes to these things. So, um, overall, I just consider my skills average at best, maybe even mediocre. But yeah, a lot of the things I've been doing lately, I just seem to be getting very irritated over. I mean, in some ways you could say like maybe it's because of the gameplay itself, it's outdated or old or buggy, but I don't know. Because Rayman Legends is a PS4 era title, PS4, Xbox One era title. I just noticed a lot when I'm playing it that I'm just getting really irritated and frustrated and angry, and I don't want to come off like that, by the way, but I do, because in that moment when I have to express myself, I am just very upset. And again, I do realize some of you like it when I get upset, but overall, I don't like to behave like that. I imagine most people who see this are like, oh my god, this guy sucks. He's just a fuming sourpuss. Why the fuck would I watch this? If he's just gonna keep ranting and raving about everything. Why does she have to bark now? Trying to get. See, I'm getting pissed off right now. Getting pissed off right now. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. Trying to get a video done. No, she's already barking. Wow. So proves my point, though. I don't know what I could do to not be angry, though, because it's just a natural reaction I have. Granted, if I was doing this on my own, the same difficult thing, and I'm not required to express myself through commentary, yeah, I don't say anything. On the inside, I feel a little irritated, but since I don't have to verbally express myself in the same manner, I don't say anything. Which I definitely noticed when doing things off camera for Rayman Legends, getting some teensies that I didn't get originally. Some of the levels are pretty demanding, and when I fail them, excuse me, it does irritate me, but although I don't express it because I'm not recording. But it's not just Rayman Legends, guys. I've noticed this a lot. Again, James Bond, Agent Under Fire. Yes, this was something that was also requested. It is a GameCube, PS2, Xbox era title. Yeah, to be frank, guys, it does not hold up very well. The gameplay is very frustrating, and I had a hard time getting through it. I mean, yes, granted, I was playing on the hardest difficulty, but that's only because that's the way I basically do Bond games. I play GoldenEye Double O Agent. So yeah, I probably could have made it a lot easier by playing on a lower difficulty, but whatever, it's done. I got through it, and I was very irritated throughout the whole process, right? And then before that, we did Metro Last Light, right? Again, that was also requested. I did play Metro 2033 a while back, and then someone said, "Okay, you play Last Light," and I put it off for a very long time. Now, overall, yes, I the campaign was not that bad because I did play it on Spartan and normal modes, which are pretty much the easiest combination you could do for the campaign. That being said, though, when it comes to the DLC, which I believe was starting here, oh my god, oh my god. The very first thing where you have to like hold this position against the horde mode, that was pretty bad. Even though I was playing on Spartan and normal, as you can see here, didn't make a difference because there's a section at the end where you have to destroy a train right before it overwhelms you, and the way to destroy it is just very like frustrating. It's just very hard to hit the train. And then when it comes to the second thing, where it's like the scavenger hunt DLC, where you're in this area, you gotta pick up treasure and bring it back. Well, guess what? Overall, the gameplay wasn't too tough for that, but with the digital version on PS4 or Xbox One, I believe, well, guess what? The game is glitched. So it will randomly crash when you're doing that mode. I am not kidding. You can look this up yourselves, guys. A physical version will be just fine, but a digital version of the Redux Metro Last Light, no. When you're playing that, it will just randomly crash right back to the desktop, and that's happened to me twice while I was recording it. And considering that mode does not have an autosave either. The only way you can save that mode is by going back to the base area and sleeping and manually saving. If you don't do that, you lose all your progress. So I couldn't even complete that DLC on the fear that I would do a lot of stuff, and before I could save, it would just crash on its own. And yeah, so that was irritating. And then I did the next DLC, which is sort of like a combat arena thing where you're in this area and waves of enemies spawned in and you have to take them out as best you can. I couldn't even get past the first stage of that. I am not kidding. I don't think there were any difficulties to select with that mode, but I couldn't get past the first stage, right? And again, I was re-expressing myself very irritated and annoyed. I couldn't make any progress there. And it's just a common thing I've been noticing over and over and over. Going back to my other playlist, yeah, Darkest of Days. That was also a very old school game by an independent company. I had a lot of frustrations with that too. Yeah, needless to say, TMNT. Oh yeah, those are old school mechanics. Even though they were somewhat improved for this PS5 compilation, they still rely on a lot of old school things. Like playing the original game that came out on NES as part of this. Oh my god, that was such a most irritating. I've been in quite a while actually. I can't even fathom doing that back in the day, with only 4 lives and without turning the console off or anything, no saving or anything. Having to do that with Jip back in the day must have been a fucking nightmare. That's all I gotta say. Because the way I was doing, I was save scumming each section, because when you get deeper into that game, oh yeah, hell yeah, it becomes pretty much impossible. So yeah, I had to save scum to get through that game in one piece. That's all I gotta say in the matter. Also, Sniper Ghost Warrior, another request. I wasn't even playing on the hardest difficulty. As you can see, it says I'm playing on medium. That game was very irritating too. You just die very quickly. And I just had a very hard time with that as well. Okay, this doesn't even matter what type of game it is, because as I can see, we go from platformer, FPS, FPS, FPS. And also, Tales of Vesperia was very difficult too. I mean, I really liked that game, the atmosphere and the characters and the story. But some of those boss fights were some of the worst I've ever seen. Especially one in particular. I don't want to name the character in case I want to spoil that you have to fight this person. But yeah, it got to a point where I just could not beat him. So I had to spend about maybe 3, 4 hours straight grinding in the area I was in just to get high enough level to beat him. Even then, that was a gigantic struggle. So I don't know what it is. I mean, again, I want to be entertaining to everyone. I don't want to sound like I'm constantly pissed off. But I've noticed it time and time again. Like, no matter what I'm playing, when it gets to a point where I'm just getting stuck on something, I just get super pissed off. And I know it's not fun to watch me when I'm doing that. The only exception I would say to that rule is if I'm playing something that's specifically designed to be irritating. There's no anti types of things, getting over or Bennett Foddy, I Am Bread. Surgeon Simulator. In some ways, maybe even Cuphead, even though I consider that tough but fair. But you get what I'm saying, right? I don't want to be like this, but at the same time, I don't know how I can not be like this. It's just a habit I have when I'm playing games, but only when I have to commentate while playing them, you know? At the moment, I am playing the Dead Space remake. I'm playing on the hard difficulty, which granted is not the hardest difficulty available, that's impossible. But I would never play impossible considering it's meant for New Game Plus, and on top of that, you can't save it all from what I saw in the description. But yeah, I'm familiar with Dead Space. I played 1, 2, and 3 back in the day. I even replayed them for the channel Not Blind. But as far as the remake goes, yeah, it's pretty stressful, you know? It takes multiple hits to take out an enemy, you have to aim carefully, they can pop up out of nowhere. Even though I know how the game functions, I'm not prepared for every encounter in that game, because they're all different compared to the original. When you're going through an area before in the original game, you might go through the remake and they'll throw 5 enemies in your way. You just won't be ready for it. That being said, though, I've been playing the remake pretty thoroughly, and I don't get frustrated when I die there. I really don't. I mean, I get a little. It's not like a good thing when I die unexpectedly, but it doesn't like piss me off as much as it is like Rayman Legends, for instance. Excuse me. So the point I'm trying to make is, I'm sorry if I'm just being like very not fun to watch lately. Because these are my most recent playlists, mind you, and a lot of the things I've shown here, I've been not happy playing for one reason or another. So it just made me wonder, what can I do to stop this? I don't know if there is anything I can do to stop it. That's the problem. So yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up real quick. I know for a fact that yeah, I'm not being very fun to watch, and I just really feel bad about it. I really do. I wish this wasn't the case, but it's just the way I'm acting. It's been this way for a very long time. Going back to even older things. Again, these are the playlists in the order of they were created. Yeah, going through them, yeah. Like Mafia, the original Mafia on PS2, that was pretty bad, even though it controlled horribly. And not that the definitive edition was much better, because I played that in classic mode like a big fucking idiot. Even though, yeah, it does feel more comfortable playing classic. That's the way it's essentially meant to be played, as you can see here. But yeah, that race. Oh my god. If you guys saw my definitive edition playthrough, you would know that it took me about 6 hours to beat that race. Total. And I had like 6 hours of recording of me just trying to beat that fucking race. And I showcased that when I actually did beat the race to show that I'm not kidding. I wasn't exaggerating at all. It took me about 6 hours. Oh my god, that's like the worst thing I've done in recent memory. But yeah. Okay, going back to my point, like I don't really have a script in mind when I do these videos. I just speak from the heart, and it's no different this time around. Let's take a sip here. Because my goal is to like be fun to watch, not to just be fuming all the time. I know that turns people off. There's no doubt in my mind that people do not want to watch someone be pissed off unless the game is specifically designed to piss you off, you know? So yes, I want everyone to know I do acknowledge that I get very mad, but I don't want to be that way. I'm willing to bet that that is a contributing factor why people don't really. I'm not really at the point where I'd want to be. You know, in terms of like recognition. I'm not saying I deserve recognition either. I'm just saying I would like to attract a bit bigger, more audience, just a tiny bit more. Again, that's not blaming anyone who's watching this right now. I mean, I'm not saying you're not giving me enough support or anything. Because a lot of people do gaming, right? Gaming is just too oversaturated the way it is, right? Way too many people doing it, not enough people to watch. So the way I see it, I should be grateful to have any audience, essentially. You know? I mean, sure, there are a lot more popular people out there, you know. I bring up Markiplier, who with his tens of millions of subs. Like, but yeah, he worked hard to get there, first of all. He's been doing this for many years, and he's like a trillion times more charismatic than I ever will be, for that matter. So he deserves to have that recognition. Me, on the other hand, I mean, you know, it's debatable. I'll just take whatever I could get at this point. I do wish I could be more like fun to watch, though. There are other people I consider myself around equal to, but even then, they don't really get angry, right? And they seem to be a bit more charismatic than I ever will be as well. So I don't know. I just want to like express that, acknowledge to everyone. Yes, I do know I have been very not fun to watch lately. I'm acknowledging that, fully acknowledging that. I do want to change and just be more fun to watch, but it's just not something you could just switch off, like on off like a light switch. I just have to learn to not be angry, but it's not easier said than done if you ask me, right? So that's pretty much what's going on right now. Anything new going on? Nah, not really. As far as I already brought up the health issues, that hasn't really changed at all, actually. As far as plans for the future, I don't really have anything at the moment. I mean, aside from real life issues, nothing is really happening. I'm not moving. I'm not planning a trip or anything. So we just have to see how it goes. Again, I'm not kidding when I say I definitely feel me being so miserable to watch is a contributing factor. Is why I'm just not where I want to be yet. Which I'm gonna have to learn to overcome somehow. I also blame not just so much on the games I'm playing, but also that a lot of things have been going on in real life that are just like, irritating me. Which again, it shouldn't really affect the gaming video aspect, because like that has nothing to do with what's going on in real life, right? There are plenty of things to be annoyed about in this world, but I shouldn't really factor those in when I'm trying to be entertaining, you know? Ugh. Anyway, I don't really know what else there is to discuss here. I just wanted to bring up the fact that I'm failing everybody, essentially. Or at least in my mind, I'm not being as good as I could be. I will try to be better, but easier said than done, right? I think that's all I have to say on the matter at the moment. I mean, I can always make another video if I want to bring something else up. But yeah, I gotta try and be better, guys. I really do. I really want to be like somewhat decent at what I do, so some people who watch actually get something out of it as opposed to just being turned off by me screaming and yelling. Because believe it or not, I am not an angry person in real life. Even though some people might point to that, saying, "Oh yeah, 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 this guy's always an irritated schmuck." No, not true, not true. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say on the matter. How long have I been recording, by the way? And up. Yeah, this is my recording software, by the way. In case you're wondering, it's OBS. I've been recording for 17 minutes. I think that's good enough for what I wanted to say. All right. So TLDR, I'm gonna try and be better. I'm gonna try and not be pissed off, but I, I can't just do it automatically like that. And I hope you guys continue to support me. That's all I really care about. I mean, any support is always great, and I wouldn't be anything anyway without anyone supporting me, regardless. So yeah, the fact that I got 659 of you convinced saw my work and decided to sign on, I mean that's great. Beggars can't be choosers when it comes to something so oversaturated by gaming. I'm grateful to have any audience for that matter. I just wish I could be more satisfied to watch. That's all. Okay. Thanks for listening, and I'll stay tuned for more stuff. Okay. See ya.